What's going on? Hi, all. Hello. Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to all. I'd like to thank everyone that is supporting the team, the podcast on all social media platforms. Today is a Christmas Eve. By the time you guys get it, it's going to be Christmas. And Merry Christmas to those who made it another year. For those who have passed, my regards to you and yours, your loved ones that didn't make it another Christmas, another new year. Um, it's sad that we miss our loved ones and they're not here to share family time. I'd like to thank everyone for participating in 98 episodes of this podcast. We have been pushing through to get to 100, and we're going to be switching up a few things. I know I say that over and over and over, but patience, things are working in our favor. A lot of times when we talk about that patience and things are moving in our favor, we do not count God's timing. God's timing is always perfect. Sometimes we move faster than we need to. And when we force certain things to happen, we miss what God wants us to have. It's hard to explain, but sometimes just taking the time to relax, take it easy, um, understand what's going on around you, enjoying the moment. It feels better when you accomplish whatever that you're trying to accomplish. So, on this 98th episode, this is the 98th episode of the year. And this is great that we've come this far. I want to share this episode, and the title of this episode is This Christmas. A lot of people look at this as a receiving, giving moment where you give out presents to everyone and you share that time with everyone and that being in that special place with your family. But there's a lot of people that don't have that. And my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to the families that can't provide the gifts that's on the list for those kids that's less fortunate. And I'm going to start giving back to kids that don't have it because I've given so much to my kids. And I want to share still continuation of giving to kids and that kids that might be less fortunate. So I will start something up with that, and I will start giving out or being present to give out to the need of people in my community and to give back to people that are less fortunate than I am. A lot of men don't know how important it is just for their presence to be around a child. You don't always have to give out a gift to touch someone's heart. You don't always have to give out money to impress a child. Your mere presence around that child means a lot. Fortune is not always given in money. Fortune is given in prosperity, love, affection. Just being together is a show of love, compassion, and appreciation. Believe me or not, someone didn't have money to put up a Christmas tree this year who wish they had one. Some couldn't afford to give their child a present. Some people could not give and wanted to give. So it's not always cool to talk about what you received because some people didn't receive anything. Some people don't have a mother or a father around. There's always somebody in worse situations than you. So I think we need to give thanks for having what we do have. It might not be much to you, but it is something to be thankful for. So as we look over this year and we look at the things that took place, we overcome a lot of things this year. If you look at what you've overcome in the last 3 or 4 years, COVID has hit and a lot of people perished, passed away, that's not here any longer, that's gone. Loved ones, uh, people you grew up with, friends you went to school with, your neighbor, cousins, and aunts are no longer here with us. And yet, 2525 is around the corner and you're still here. Whether you have everything that you want or need out of life, that doesn't matter. Because as long as you're here, you can work on getting the things you want. And as a father, we balance that out with our children. And sometimes our children, they want to move faster than they need to. The patience of this being patient, or the morals when it comes to taking your time and let it happen, don't force it, you will enjoy it much better. But the narrative that you see on TV, you see with people will paint the picture or paint this narrative that you have to do this by a certain time or you're not winning. You're not setting a trend or you're not ahead of your time. Let me just tell you, all the youth out here in the world, you're doing great. Keep your head up, save your money, invest your money, try to not rush to be independent because those are bills and those are things you don't want to do so early when you don't have to. African American and American people in general love to be independent and leave home and spend money unnecessarily than they have to. I think the narrative that's been painted on our society and all of the kids is that you're not grown until you're independent. You're on your own. Time you graduate, you want to go get a brand new vehicle, or time you get out of college, you want to go buy a house, or time you accomplish something, you want to go spend money and travel and celebrate. I beg you to change that narrative and build up your foundation around you so when you really want to do that, it's better. But us telling you this, the older people or the people you look up to, sometimes it's hard to reach the youth and people of young age because they feel like they need to be rewarded for what's normal. Going to school is normal. There's no reward for that. There's no reward for that. Being good in college and graduating is nothing normal with that. It's not a special thing. Yes, we like to reward our kids with going to college and you give them a present or whatever, but that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to seek higher education or higher skill set so you can provide for your family when your family comes up. So it's not that you're doing it for your parents, you're doing it for yourself. When your family members or mother and father pour into you to tell you to push you to do great, that's what they're doing. They're pushing you to do great. They're pushing you to try to achieve your dreams. But if you choose not to do that, you're not hurting your parents. You're not letting your parents down. You still have to live that life afterwards with whatever you stop at and your mid, low, or high goals that you put in front of you. So we try to save you from getting yourself into debt at a young age, where that way you can build out and then go out there. But you look at statistics, a lot of kids stay with they should be staying with their parents till they're in their 30s. Save their money as much as possible before they're ready to tackle the world. The world is unforgiving. But in our societies, we push our kids out at 16, 17, 15 to be grown, to take on the responsibility of raising a child themselves. That's the child. And if they have a kid, they have a young newborn out in the street. Don't realize that it's very difficult out here. You know how many people had kids at a young age? And if it wasn't for their mother, where would they be? Because they couldn't maintain on their own. Do you know how many women I know just met, in talking and passing, lean on their mother to help them raise their children? And yet they want to claim they're grown? I don't, that's not cool with me that your mom takes care of your children. When I came up, I didn't have that option. My mom was there, but it wasn't like I'm throwing my kids on my mom. So when I see this, I'm like, something's broken. Why is it you so grown before you have a kid? We can't tell you nothing before you have a kid. And then once you have a kid, now you need your parents. Oh, babysitter costs. Yeah. Milk costs. Yeah. Pampers. We try to tell you before you get out there. That's your parents. That's what they do. They try to help you before you step out there in the world. Just like with the boys. Stop dating so early at a young age. Stop dressing up trying to impress females that can't offer you nothing. Half of them can't cook, can't clean, give you more mouth than pour anything into you other than mouth. So what are you doing? They could tell you about the fashion and going out to eat, but can't tell you, babe, save your money. Let's build something together. Let's do something right. Can't push your dreams as a young boy trying to achieve something, young man trying to get somewhere. But yet they can give you mouth about who you texting. These distractions. I've always pushed this with my sons and with my daughter. Don't be distracted off your main purpose in life. Push through. That same man that's there now, if he worth anything, he be there later. Same thing I tell them about the females. If they like you then, they'll like you later. If they pushing up on you now, they'll push up on you later. And if they don't, so be it. There'll be more. Go achieve your goals. Reach for the sky of achieving what you want to achieve. Do we not know who's in presidency? Do we not know all the programs that's closing down? Do we not know that it is getting harder and harder to support your family? We don't have time to be wasting money on materialistic things. Clothes, $200 sneakers. We want to go out to eat every other week. Yes, I know you got to live your life while you're here, but can we be a little conservative? Can we look at that? Can we think about that before we go too far ahead? This is what bothered me when I see in society. I have parents that's there willing to help their children, but the children are confused and they don't want to listen, and they just want to be out there in the street, and they want to do things that I know we never done in our time. Back in the day, if you had a girlfriend or a female you liked, I don't even think they could go to your house back in the day, or a boy can go to the house. And if you did, you sat your tail in that living room. Hmm. You didn't pass the living room. You might have went to the bathroom, but you ain't passed the bathroom. You went right back to the what? Living room. And God knows if you were lucky, if you was real lucky, you found a girl who mom allowed you to go to the room, but you had to leave the door open. Oh, yeah. I know some of you remember that. Ain't that right? Some of you remember having that girlfriend that mom let you go to the room, but you left the door open. For sure. And y'all can sit there and watch TV, and every once in a while, the mom would walk by the door to make sure you were still sitting there with clothes on. Because they always swore that the boy was fast, right? Everybody thought that the boy was the problem. But they didn't know their daughter was like that. Hmm. They did not know that daughter had it in her. You understand? She had a crush on him, and she wanted him to be in the room with her, and they can watch TV together. Those were the good old days. Shoot, now the mother working overnight. Hello. The father is nowhere to be found. I know you hear me. We all family. We could talk about this, right? We're family. We're family. The father's nowhere to be found. The mother working overnight. And guess who's ringing that doorbell around 8:30? Oh, yeah. It's the U 2.0 ringing that doorbell at 8:30. And your little mommy, back in those days, back in those back in those days, I mean, far back in those days, if you had a little, little mamacita, you know what I'm saying? Little Spanish girl, it was different. But if you had a sister there, woo, woo, and you didn't have to go home, go nowhere, you could stay in the house all night long as you out by 6, right? Mm? Cause mama be home 7:30. You know what I'm saying? So you got to leave out of there around 6 in the morning. And you went and told your mom you was going to your cousin's house, but meanwhile you went to Tanya's house. You understand? These are the things that go on now. It's different. Because everybody's moving fast. Everybody wants to be grown at a young age. No one wants to let it happen over time. And even what I'm saying about that, that's older now. That's not even what's going on now. That's still old to what's happening now. What's happening now is the mom is okay with you spending the night over the house. In the daughter's bed. They don't even care. But I'm going to tell you why. Because as long as you know where your child is at now parents are more lenient with that type of company. Yes, I said it. Because the worst thing for a parent, now that we look deeper into it, is not knowing where your child is. We can't phantom that. To imagine what they're doing and you don't know where they're at. Ooh, that's double the trouble. Am I right about it? So we rather know where the child is and what they're doing than not know where they're at and not know if something happened to them. So it's a compromise. So we learn to live within what we can work with. Now, of course, we don't do that to just any child. The child got to show you that they're responsible, they have their things somewhat in order, they're being obedient, they're doing their chores. But nowadays, kids don't even have chores. Kids don't have none of that. You know, it's not the same. Time has changed. I don't know how many Christmases done passed that we don't have snow on the ground. I remember vividly when I was a kid, Christmas didn't pass where we didn't have snow and it was freezing cold. Christmas did not pass that we didn't walk in and we had to take our boots off because it was full of slush and water. Christmas didn't pass without having that. Now you go outside with a hoodie on, flip flops, and you good. Times have changed. Climates have changed. Things are not the same. So we can't use tactics or skills that we developed back in the 70s to work with our kids now in 21st century. We have to adjust with the time. We have to understand the levels to reach our children, to keep them out of trouble, and to hopefully guide them through some areas of life that they have that might be dark for them. So we have to look into that. Take the time for Christmas to do that. Take the time to talk to your child and ask them about their goals for the new year. Because the new year's around the corner. Everyone want to go to the big city, want to go to New York, they want to go see the ball drop, they want to be active, they want to be in the crowd. We have to look at, what's going on and try to see what's best for your child, your young adult. They might be 20, 21. And every time they open their mouth, they asking for something. That's the majority of any child or any young adult. But you got to keep it within reason. You got to save them a lot of times from hanging themselves because they don't realize the dangers or the perception that's out there. So I like to encourage all the fathers and mothers, all the mothers and all the fathers, team, not team, work together with your child. Try to reach them on a level they can understand. Because that's the best thing for them is to get a better understanding. Sometimes being the villain is needed. And what I mean by that is you have a lot of parents that don't want to be the villain with their child. They don't never want to offend their child or get their child upset or mad at them. So there's things they don't like to say to the child that might trigger them to have an emotional disagreement with life. I don't care. I'm not your friend, I'm your father. I'm going to always be there for you as a friend. But when I give you advice, it's not from a friend perspective. It's from me trying to keep you safe and not get yourself jammed up. Now, if you ask me, Dad, I need you to break it down and talk to me as a friend, what would you do? And I will break it down and tell you that. I will tell you what's going on. I will tell you what I see. I don't have a problem breaking it down and talking to my child. But when you talk to me, any one of my children will tell you, You can't come to me and act like you got all the answers, because we all know you don't. So why put on that facade? Why come to me cocky, arrogant, slick mouth when we all know you don't have it together? It's obvious. A parent can see it from far away, because that's the gift God give us as your parent. So why not come to your parents and say, Mom, Dad, I messed up. I need some assistance with this. What should I do to get this correct? But if a narrative or something is already painted in your head for you not to come around like that, or have an issue with coming to your parents, period, and that's where you fall deeper into whatever position or situation you're in. Your parents are there to assist you, help you, and guide you. Oftentimes, you're not going to want to hear what they have to say to you, because it's coming out of protecting you, guiding you, and leading you through darkness. And sometimes in that young adult's eyes, they want to go through the darkness. If your parents put down the structure and the foundation so you could just walk on top of the foundation, why do you feel you need to build your own foundation again? If we set forth a door that we left open for you to walk through and take it easy and just let it happen so you can build yourself out and go the right way, why can't you do that? Why do you want to go on your own and face all these obstacles? Because you don't gain respect from your parents like that. And if that's what you think you're doing, that's not what you do when you gain respect from your parents. Gaining respect from your parents is actually staying on the program of what they already put out the foundation for you. So you don't have to worry about struggling and going through baby steps that the parent already took for you. How is it? And this is my question to the listeners. Why is it your kids won't accept you while you living, but once you dead, they accept everything from you? And that's the thing I never understood. Your kids will not listen to you, will not follow what you say, will not understand the format you laid out until you dead and gone, and then they'll take everything from you. Why? When you had much more to give them while you were living. But oftentimes they don't want no parts of that, because they feel when we give you information, we're trying to control you or control them. And we're not. We're just trying to assist them the best way we know how. And sometimes you got to let them go so they can come back with a better understanding. So this Christmas, as we go in closing and my conclusion, this Christmas should be very special to everyone that celebrate Christmas or the holidays, because you have a moment to come back and be around your family and stay with your family. Enjoy their company, their presence, the love, the food. It's great to be able to do that. So I wish nothing but health and wealth. I wish that parents that haven't spoke to their children in a long time have a conversation and sit down and talk with their children. I wish that every child that ran away from home find their way back home safely. I wish that every pedophile that touched a child wrong burns on fire. A child is innocent. They shouldn't be brought through that. That's foul, yo. I hope that every person that missing their loved one find their way back. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. This is Humanity Unplugged, wishing you our first year. This is our first year celebrating Christmas as a family with Humanity Unplugged. We thank you guys. Happy holidays and God bless.